Hello and welcome to 3.0 TV. I am Vishakha Thakur.
And I am Ruchi Sharma. We have got all the major global cryptocurrency news from the past week for you in this show. But before we start, let's cut across to Manoj Dhara for the market check.
So Bitcoin is nearing the psychological level of $1 lakh mark, its highest point since late Feb, fueled by the resurgence of the investor risk appetite in the financial markets. So after hitting a record high of around $1,09,000 levels on January 20th, the day when Donald Trump was sworn in for its second term as the US president, Bitcoin has fallen as much as 30% from the all-time high. The last time Bitcoin traded at $1 lakh level was on Feb 7th. And the overall crypto market cap was seen trading at $3.02 trillion, up by 0.3%.
Thanks, Manoj. So in the latest purchase announcement shared earlier on April 28th, Michael Saylor's strategy had acquired 15,355 Bitcoin for $1.42 billion.
So following this acquisition, Strategy's stash has exploded to 553,555 BTC, bought for $37.9 billion for an average price of $68,459 per Bitcoin.
So with Bitcoin now trading above $96,000, the holdings value has skyrocketed to $52.7 billion, which means an unrealized profit of approximately $15 billion.
So moving on, Metaplanet, a Japanese company focused on accumulating Bitcoin, announced it will launch a United States-based subsidiary.
And in a May 1 X post, Metaplanet announced that the firm is launching a wholly owned subsidiary in Florida.
Furthermore, the new subsidiary is expected to raise up to $250 million of capital to fuel its Bitcoin accumulation strategy and tap US institutional investors.
Now, in a separate announcement, Metaplanet cites Miami as the city that will host the new subsidiary's headquarters.
The company explained that it decided to go to Florida due to its pro-Bitcoin environment, which purportedly led to Bitcoin corporate adoption and financial liberalization.
And the new subsidiary is also expected to expand the company's operations into a new time zone.
Moving on, two bills that would allow the US state to invest in digital assets have cleared both legislative chambers and now await Governor Katie Hobbs' decision.
Well, Senate Bill 1025, the Arizona Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Act, and Senate Bill 1373, establishing a digital asset strategic reserve fund, would authorize the state treasurer and retirement system to invest up to 10% of available funds in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies.
The move makes Arizona the first state to pass such legislation in the House and Senate. The votes passed on April 28th with 31-25 and 37-19 respectively.
However, Governor Hobbs has not indicated her position on the bills and has recently pledged to veto all legislation until the state resolves a budget stalemate, according to reports.
Moving on, the US Securities and Exchange Commission has delayed making a decision on two cryptocurrency-related ETF applications tracking the performance of XRP and DOGE.
So the meme coin exchange-traded fund was proposed by Bitwise, while the XRP fund comes from Franklin Templeton, which was filed in mid-March.
The review period has been extended to June 15 for the DogeCoin ETF and June 17th for the Ripple-based one.
And the XRP ETF delay comes just a few days after the agency approved 3 futures funds from ProShares.
Initial reports claim that the financial vehicles would be launched on April 30th, but this information was debunked. The launch date is now set for May 14th.
Moving on, Ethereum's co-founder Vitalik Buterin has unveiled a 2025 roadmap emphasizing Layer 2 scalability, blob technology, and enhanced user experience.
So L2 networks have significantly improved Ethereum's throughput and reduced fees, scaling transaction capacity by 17 times since 2019.
And a pivotal component of this strategy is the implementation of blobs introduced by EIP 4844, which allow temporary storage of large data packets within blocks, enhancing transaction throughput.
Plans are underway to double the current block capacity from 3 to 6 per slot with the upcoming Pectra upgrade, targeting transaction speed of up to 100,000 per second.
Well, this roadmap reflects Ethereum's commitment to decentralization, scalability, and user-centric development, positioning the network for sustained growth and broader adoption.
At the same time, the organization announced the restructuring of its leadership to enhance strategic execution, strengthen internal operations, and further support the network as it expands.
Moving on, Trump Media and Technology Group, the parent company of Truth Social, has announced plans to introduce a native utility token and digital wallet.
The move is aimed at supporting its monetization strategy across its growing media and financial ecosystem.
Now, to fund its blockchain ambitions, TMTG announced it will allocate up to $250 million from its $777 million cash reserves.
This includes direct investment in Bitcoin and other crypto assets, as well as support for the development of its utility token and wallet infrastructure.
Also, the company has confirmed plans to incorporate or reincorporate in Florida, citing the state's pro-business, pro-freedom environment as more conducive to its long-term innovation and financial goals.
Moving on April 28th, Mastercard announced a partnership with the OKX crypto exchange and Canadian payments processor Nuvei, which will unlock a 360-degree approach where consumers can spend stablecoins and merchants can receive them.
Also, the firm described the new technology as having global end-to-end stablecoin acceptance and payments capabilities and cited increasing global regulatory clarity for stablecoins.
Mastercard's integrated 360-degree approach includes partnership with several leading crypto platforms including MetaMask, Kraken, Gemini, Bybit, Crypto.com, and Binance.
Also, the firm claims that users will be able to pay with and spend the stablecoins in their crypto wallets via traditional cards at over 150 million merchant locations worldwide that accept Mastercard.
On the merchant side, Mastercard is working with Nuvei and Circle to enable merchants to accept Circle's USDC stablecoin.
Moving on, Tether, the company behind the world's largest stablecoin by market cap, has released its financials for the first quarter of 2025, disclosing nearly $120 billion in exposure to US Treasuries and over $1 billion in operating profit.
So according to Tether's Q1 2025 financial report, the company's assets include $98.5 billion in direct US Treasury bills, along with over $23 billion in additional exposure through repurchase agreements and other cash equivalent assets.
Now, according to the announcement, Tether holds $5.6 billion in excess of reserves for its USDT stablecoin, down from $7.1 billion in excess from the last quarter of 2024. Also, the stablecoin has a market cap of $149 billion as of May 1.
Well, that's all in this episode of the Weekly Wrap. This is Mirchi Sharma signing off.
And this is me, Vishakha Thakur, signing off. For more such updates, do like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have a great weekend.